Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Rika, Edwin, Marcelo, Edgar, Colin, Zufan, Nancy, Eric, Brendan, Andre, JD, Myra, Ed, Michael. What's going on, guys? Just gonna wait here a little bit, then hopefully we can get everybody in, and we'll get this thing kicked off. Good morning, Sakib. Good morning, Rajan. Stonks only go up. Hell yeah. Good morning, Zemena. Good morning, Pablo. What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I know, the market's kind of going sideways here a little bit, pulling back. But that's fine because we're going to manage our positions. And we always enter trades knowing what our risk is going to be. So no surprises there. Kim, good morning. Wealth, good morning. Watching you live from Argentina. Hey, let's go. Guys, do me a favor, smash that like button. And we'll get going in about 5 minutes here. Daniel, good afternoon. Amrit Pal, good morning, good morning. All right, 2 more minutes, 8:35 a.m. We'll get going, we'll get started. I'll be red till the Texas energy comes back. Oh man, I heard the guy's freezing down there in Texas, eh? Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Griffin. Ahmed, good morning. Hamilton. Shout out to Canada. My fellow Canadians, where you at? All right. Aren't you guys excited that you didn't buy Plantier like I told you not to the other day? We got GTEC as the pre-market runner here, guys. Those of you guys that are excited in these type of plays, this stock is running. It's an EV sector. Up on cooperation agreement to support U.S. production of electrical industrial vehicles. So I guess we'll get right into it. I know a lot of you guys are excited about these low float tickers. So what I'll do is maybe I'll give you guys a rundown on this ticker right here. So whether I tell you guys to trade it or not, I know a lot of you will. So let's get started. Clearly resistance right here at 26.47. Let's go and look at the daily chart. So not bad. It's been getting a little bit of attention, but now it's sitting at $23. So obviously daily chart is not showing that right now, and we need to zoom out further. We need more data points. So let's go back to, let's get the max data available. And let's zoom out. So it looks like stock is fairly new. We're sitting right now at $26. There's no other prior resistance here. So the only thing you guys can really base any information off of this is if you use what's called Fibonacci tool. So Fibonacci tool, we have a high right here of around 27, a low of 20. So ultimately you're going to find some resistance areas here, but if this breaks above this 100 area, you're looking at 30 and then 37. So keep that on watch here. If this holds strong, these are the areas you want to look for. Yes, I can make the chart bigger. My screen is just so big, I don't here, let me know if this helps. All right, so that's with that's with, you know, the GTEC. This thing is running, it went from $7 all the way up to $27, so up over about almost 300% here. Okay, so keep that on watch. But what's going on with the market? Okay, so everybody wants to know what's really happening. I think we just had jobless numbers come out. That's why you're getting this pull in the market. If someone can take a look at what the jobless numbers are, I can probably guess that they're not very good. That's why we're getting this pull. So now what is happening with the SPY? All right, now let me adjust my price axis here. So we can kind of zoom into the chart. All right, so here's the market as a whole. All right, I'm going to zoom into these last few days here. Okay, so we're sitting right here at, we have the EMAs out here at 385, and we have support right here at 385. Okay, what does this mean? This means the market's really extended from the moving averages, and when this happens, we have a lot of, you know, selling pressure. People are getting a little nervous. They don't know if it's going to continue moving higher. I mean, if we think about it, we've really gone from the March lows to all the way being up here at around 390, about to push 400. This 400 area is going to be a very key area, big psychological number here. So we're going to have to really wait and see what's going to happen here. Okay, but ultimately we're extended from the EMAs a little bit. Right now we're sitting at around 389, which is right around here. We're trying to test yesterday's lows, and ultimately we could come back down to the 385 area. All right, and that's maybe where we're going to find some support. Why? Because we have prior resistance that is now support. So this will be an area that we might bounce off of, and ultimately if we lose the 20 EMA, we can come back to the 50, which is something we did not too long ago. You guys sat through this, you guys witnessed this, and we were just mainly cash, and we witnessed this pullback, and we survived. Nothing to really be nothing alarming. We held 20 EMA, we held 50 EMA, we added to our long-term positions, and we continue to ride the wave out. All right, so same thing here. If we end up pulling, we might pull down to the 385, 386 area, but that's okay. You know, we enter trades with a plan, with a risk setup, and we know that we need to, you know, take action accordingly when things like this happen. Give me 1 second here. All right, so with that said, let's get into some, you know, some of the tickers that you guys want me to look at, and we'll get right into it. So a lot of people are saying PLTR. If we take a look at PLTR here, I've explained this multiple times. The reason why I think, you know, you guys got to be a little bit careful on PLTR, simply because, you know, we have this resistance down, sorry, this support down here at 2250. Right, we had this resistance area right here, or support area now, that broke down, and we had some, you know, support area up here that broke down. We pushed through it on this big volume day, it pushed up, and then we had selling pressure, and then we came back down here, which was still okay, but the earnings came out. All right, once the earnings came out, you can see these two big noticeable red days. All right, these two big noticeable red days were alarming days for me. And everybody kept saying, do I buy the dip? Do I buy the dip? No, you don't buy the dip. Why? Because you don't have support until 23, at least 2250. You don't have moving average support. You have big red selling pressure. And now, if we look at it, we're sitting at around $25 pre-market, which is right down here. So we're sitting at around $25 pre-market. I don't think there's still much support. I mean, we have some buying and selling happening here, but ultimately I do think this comes down to the 23-24 area before finding a base and continuing to move higher. Okay, so be careful with that one. Can you please have a watch on B? Can you please have a watch on BLNK? I guess what you're saying is, can I go over BLNK? So BLNK, again, once we lost that 20 EMA, 50 EMA acted like it was going to hold for a little bit, but as soon as the market started to pull, this thing came down with it, and overnight we're sitting at around $45 right now, which is around here. So it's still kissing that 50 EMA. If markets don't turn around here, if markets decide to lose the 20 EMA, we will roll over and we will come down a little bit. All right, now take a look at this play that's kind of panning out here, right? We have a big move. First pullback is the strongest pullback. Guys, make sure you understand this and make sure you make note of this, okay? First pullback is always the most significant pullback, right? And then we have the second one. This is a smaller pullback. However, it's still contained within that first pullback. Then we have a second pullback, right? Still not a bad move. We ended up hitting nice highs. And then we have a third pullback, right? So now you can see the moves are getting less. The big move up are getting less and less, right? So this is exactly what I mean when momentum starts kind of shifting. So we can clearly see that the buying momentum is kind of dying out here on the stock. And that's evident with, a lot of this EV sector and what's happening with them, and the market's kind of pulling them down. So they will continue kind of to roll over here. So have your stops here at your entries. If you did get in on BLNK, I got out of this position. I hit my first target, and when it came back down, I got out for break even. Okay. So now anyone who's still in it, you really have to keep an eye on this 50 EMA and see what it's going to do. But it's very clear that, we went from here to up here, about a $22 move. We had a $22 move, and then we had a $30 move, and then we had a $15 move, and then you can see the moves are getting less and less. $12 move. So the range is getting less and less, which means the buying volume is getting less and less. All right. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Can we take a think about buying GSY today on the pullback? Let's take a look at GSY. GSY. So not the prettiest chart at all. This is an ETF, so you really need to understand what ETFs are and what relation they have to what they're doing. I wouldn't buy this. I don't really. I mean, it's gone sideways for about a year now. It's just been stuck at this 50-50 area. I'm not really sure if that's something I would trade. GIK. GIK, again, I mean, you guys can clearly see this chart is very jumpy. It's very choppy. Same kind of look with BLNK, right? I mean, not as much range to the top side. It keeps getting stuffed for whatever reason, but it does look like it wants to kind of roll over here. Neo, like I said, I've been saying for you guys, continue to adding on weakness here. The EV sector will eventually come around. It's not done yet. So continue adding to your position on Neo. 55, 53, 52, 50 are golden prices for this ticker. So TBIO, everyone's talking about here. So TBIO is interesting. It had this, nice bounce off the 50 moving average. First run up here. This could possibly be its second pullback. I would be interested if we can kind of get a move above this, 27, 28 area. Right now it's kind of sitting at 2780, 2750 pre-market. If this can come back above this 2750 area, ultimately you can go long there and then have your stops right here at 25. Maybe about a $3 stop for your target of around, right here, maybe $31 to $64 on TBIO. Good morning, Mr. Needham. RIGL. I've been watching this one for quite some time now. You know, the only issue that I have with these therapeutic companies is that they always end up biting me in the ass. So, and they're sub $5. Just these stocks are just, I don't know, man. Seems like the companies are always doing some shady shit. But anyways, little extended from the 20 EMA. It is gapping up to 550 pre-market here, so it looks like it had some news. Let's take a look at a closer time frame. So it is gapping up. Not sure what caused that significant gap up. It entered into a collaboration with Lilly to develop inhibitors for potential treatment of immunology. Yeah, so this will probably, I don't know, this move is not really, this news is not really a news that I would really buy the stock and push it up like this. But it has broken out of its, the area that I would buy it at. If I was going to buy this, I probably would have bought it right here at around, you know, 460, 470. But right now it's trading at around 580, which is above this prior high here. All right, so that's your prior high at around $5. It broke that resistance. Now it's trading at around 550. I'd be careful chasing this thing up here because it might come back down to 5.20, $5 before bouncing higher. So be a little careful with that one. Pets. I really hope you guys didn't buy the top on this one. Like I said, this is exactly what I mean by being careful about buying tops. If you don't have a plan and you end up buying the top, you need to tell yourself, am I day trading this or am I, you know, swing trading this? If you're swing trading it, you have no business buying a stock that's gone up over 300%. Okay, so this thing went from $2 to $20. There's no business for you to buy the stock at $19. And if you bought it at $19, what was your stop? If your stop was here at $14, then you are day trading this. You shouldn't be swing trading this. You shouldn't be holding it. It went from $19 back down to $4. I really hope no one got caught in this. And you know, these kind of lessons happen over and over again. It happens with GME, it happened with AMC, it's happening with companies like Pets, it's happening with stocks like SCKT. You know, $35 down to $13, and now it's sitting at around $12. So be really careful. This is why I stay away from these, and this is why I don't like new traders trading these stocks. Mara, Riot, all these companies, guys, that you guys are mentioning here, companies that have, again, you know, they're following blockchain. I do think Bitcoin is a little bit super extended here. So these are due for a pullback. We hit that psychological 50 number here. So what I will actually be looking on Mara coming into the near future is some momentum to kind of die down, bring it back down here, maybe have another plan like down here. Back then I traded Mara at around 14 bucks on this breakout, took it up to around 22 and sold, and you know, didn't take another trade on it. So ultimately I want Mara to pull back possibly towards 9 moving average or the 20 moving average to look for an entry on this. CDMO, I like. CDMO is a very great chart with the bio sector heating up here. I think this goes. I think we have a entry here. If this gets back above, you know, $18, I would take this trade. And you know, we have good buying pressure, these big buying candles here. So respecting that 20 EMA multiple times, nice momentum in this, and it's got nice upside room. So 20, and then I think 22, 23 is where it has room to. Hull. Hull is another one. Hull is another one that I've been watching that I do like. Huge momentum here, and it is a SPAC, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is a SPAC. Ultimately over 20 bucks, I'd be interested in it. If we can get like a red to green day, 20 bucks entry, targets at around 22, and then 24 on the top side. Not a bad move. Not a bad, you know, stock either. Big buying pressure, pullback, it's on lighter volume. Very good. TBIO, I got in at 26.85. I think I just talked about TBIO, didn't I? So this is what I mean, guys. You guys are getting in at like, oh, you got in at 26.85. 26.85 is not bad. You bought the dip right here. It's better than buying 24. So this is, look at Leo, okay? For example, Leo got in at 26.85. Why didn't Leo get in at $36 or $34, right? It was super extended for him. He waited until it pulled back to the moving averages and he got in at 26.85, right? Great entry here. Why? Because he has moving average support. So it can, if at anything, at worst case scenario, he gets a bounce off of this support and it continues higher. Like I said earlier, if this gets above this 27.50, 28 area, it will continue to run. AKBA. AKBA has been struggling a little bit here due to the market. So I mean the pattern is still kind of intact. It hasn't really broke the pattern down. So we got to continue to hold this. It was a wedge, a pattern that broke out, and because market pulled back, we kind of pulled back here on this day. However, it's holding up fairly well. So as long as it's still in play and as long as it hasn't hit the stops, we'll continue to holding it. Same thing with IPOE and SFIX. ZOM. Let's take a look at ZOM here. 223. So ZOM not bad. Again, it kind of double topped here at 290. Needs to get some energy, some juice back into it. So the red pressure here is not concerning, so I'm not really worried about that. I just need buying pressure to come in. So maybe over $2.50, $2.40, we can kind of see that momentum come back into it. But as of right now, I don't know. I'd stay off of this one for a little bit. Not really interested in. I don't know. It's had a super extended move. We went from 23 cents all the way up to $2.90. So about 150% move here. No, what is that? Not even. It's more than that. Yeah, 1,000% move. Sorry. Please, what should be my stop in it? So Rav, it depends on your entry. Okay, you don't want to enter a trade and then worry about what your stop is. You want to have your stop before you enter the trade. Okay. So 30-cent stock. What should your stop be? Your stop should probably be 28 cents, maybe 27 cents if you want to be a little conservative. 259. GPV. If you guys are giving me Canadian stocks, I can't look it up on my platform here, so I'm gonna have to check it another time. AVIR. Another therapeutical company. No real setup here. Maybe if it breaks above 89.90, you can kind of take a trade, risking this $80 area, but that's a $9 risk. Are you willing to take that risk? If you are, then you can kind of do so there. All right, let's take a look at it here. All right. Next one, NNDM. So NNDM, again, holding the 20 EMA, a company with a lot of buyers in it, and it's a good company. It's just these stocks are not moving simply because the market is not allowing it to. So if you guys can handle the heat, if you guys can sit through it, I would be careful. I would have my stops in place and let the stock kind of work, and don't really micromanage it. We can't really micromanage positions because the stock is pulling back. We have to let them kind of work on their own and find strength when the market comes back, right? If you guys are worried that a stock might pull, you could cut your trade early. Move your stops to your entry if you're still green on it. But if it's going red on you and you think the market's going to come down harder, you can cut your trade without letting it pan out. But like I've always said, when I enter a trade, I know I'm going to lose X amount of money, and I'm okay with it. So when I enter a trade, I know I'm going to lose that money, and I let it play out. It's either going to hit my stop or I'm going to hit my target. There's nothing else to it. BNGO is another one. It made a nice massive move here. We had a great trade on this. It's just breathing here, guys. Again, pulling back a little bit due to the market, but this big move up here was a solid move. We took this nice trade here. It's looking fine. It's just breathing here, and just struggling to continue higher simply because of the market. And once the market turns around, I believe this thing will continue to shoot up with it. IZEA and AKBA. I don't. You guys know my ideas on there. It's in the Discord. So I'm not gonna go over that. CDMO, like I just posted CDMO, Marcelo. I don't know why you're asking about CDMO again, and I just talked about it. So I don't know what else you want me to tell you in regards to CDMO. I explained it in the chat. So let's see here. WKHS. I was watching this one. What I like about this is that it broke out. Okay, it broke out of this like massive flag pattern here. Okay, broke out of this massive flag pattern. We got breakout with massive volume, right? We kind of formed the flag here, but then market decided to pull back, and now we're pulling back into our essentially what we're pulling back into is these support areas here, right? So the only issue with this is that we lost the 20 EMA. But it's pulling back to support. Right now it's sitting at 31.40. So you have this $31.30 area as support. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red days. So it's bound to go up eventually here. But, again, the market is what's going to be important here. Do you want to take positions right now when the market looks a little weak and when the market wants to pull back? So you need to be aware of these areas. When the market starts kind of flattening out and show consolidation a little bit sideways, and then we can kind of push back up, that's when you want to take that trade. Right now, that's your support right there, 31 and 30. There's really nothing else here. There's no pattern. There's no other EMA support, but nice breakout here. And if we pull back, then we need to kind of hold these levels for a move higher. Should I enter CCIV at around 53? Okay, so let's talk about that question, and let's talk about why you think that's a smart decision. Okay, so you had consolidation down here at 18, a beautiful flag break. You didn't take this trade, right? And then you have another micro flag that pulled out here, right? We pulled back here and we broke out. First new high, first candle to make a new high, stops back down here at around 20, right? Boom, took off one more time. You have a second setup right here, right? 33. Break, first candle to break over that high, enter, and here we are, off to the races. You didn't take the trade here, you didn't take the trade here, you didn't take the trade here. Now you want to buy it at 53. Okay, so if you buy it at here, the chart clearly has no other support. If you entered at 53, where would be your stop? Okay, the only area that this chart has support at, which is prior resistance that has now turned to support, is right here at around $36. Okay, so if you enter at 53, where would be your point of panic, or where would you have to sell this position for a loss? All right, your only area of support is at 36. If you can manage a position from 53 all the way down to 56 without getting shaken out, without getting scared, then by all means go for it. But your upside move versus your downside risk is not worth it. All right, look at that every time you want to make a trade. This has moved up significantly. It has 3 green days and it's looking strong. Do you want to continue holding this? It hit $60 psychological resistance and it's consolidating a little bit, right? So understand that before you buy something. Guys, if you haven't done so already, smash that like button. Show me some love, because the market's not really showing me love. TNXP. Let's look at TNXP. So TNXP, nice bottoming pattern here. Oh, what happened happened there? So we have this weekly kind of breakout. Again, chart is very choppy. Unless you know something about the company that you want to kind of invest in and you find value in it. Good buying pressure coming in, but I would probably wait to around 140, maybe 150 psychological number to kind of get in, maybe at this prior high area. Then that's when I would look to enter the trade. Up here, not really interested to me. All right, guys, so that's around 9 o'clock. If you guys do have questions, make sure you good morning from Toronto. Bobby, you're a little late to the party, my friend. You guys want to wake up early to get idea of what's happening with the market. So we're selling off a little bit more in the market here. Make sure you guys are all managing your open positions. We did enter a few trades, but again, the market is pulling. So make sure you keep your eyes open and you manage the positions. All right, Ahmed, IPOE, IZEA. Again, I'm in those trades and I will not cut them until they hit my stop. All right, so ensure you guys are aware of what's happening in the market. I'm going to pull up the market chart here for you guys so you guys can see, and let's look at the daily chart, the hourly chart before we kind of get going. All right, so we can clearly see that we have some support intraday levels. All right, intraday levels 388. These are good areas that we keep seeing buying pressure at. So today, if we do pull down here to the 388, it's going to be a key area to kind of watch. If we lose that 388 early in the morning session, we can very easily roll over to 85, 385, and most likely a lot of our stops are going to get tagged. So be aware of that. And the reason why I'm not panicking, guys, is because I have stops put in. It's happened to me multiple times where market pulls, eats my stops, and I'm okay with it because I went into the trade knowing I'm gonna lose X amount of dollars. I don't go into the trade hoping to make money. I go into the trade hoping to lose money. So when I do lose money, I'm not surprised because I knew I'm going into the trade risking $200, for example, or risking $500, for example. I'm not worried about that. So when it does happen, it happens. So be it. We just come back and we go again another day. Why? Because the setups always work. The setups will work in the odd times when the market starts acting funky like it is now. We just alter our positions and we approach it going forward. All right, so respect your stops. Make sure you are aware of what your stops is, and don't overthink things too much. Don't micromanage your positions. Let them work. If you guys are a little bit more advanced in trading, you can take your stops out and just use mental stops, right? But if you guys are new traders, you should all have hard stops. To this day, I still use hard stops, so I do recommend it. All right, guys, if you did appreciate this content, go ahead and smash that like button, follow me, and subscribe on YouTube as well. We'll do more of these live videos going forward, and I'll be posting more educational content on YouTube. I just need to get around to doing that, but I will do that. More educational content coming on YouTube, and yeah, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in Discord. All right, thank you very much. Have a good one.